I'm Jim Czek. You're watching Kelowna Now. I'm with Liz Sage. I'm going to sit back because I think I'm too big on the camera right now. But
Hi, Jim.
Team Fitness and Christmas, holiday time. Tough
Yeah.
time, right? When you're trying to keep on track with your fitness goals and that.
It can very well be. And not just holiday, Christmas holiday, which is also a big deal, but any holiday,
Yeah.
right? We have people going away. We're coming up to the holiday time in the early winter. You know, people are drifting south, maybe
Yeah.
some snowbirds, and then other people just going on holidays in general, trying to get some sunshine.
Yeah, and I think it's the access, obviously, to the more food, eating out more, a lot of refreshments. Some people
Refreshments.
indulge in the, what's that, mulled wine? I don't know.
There's mulled wine. There's all kinds
Eggnog
of
with
yeah,
something or
yeah.
another.
Just the eggnog itself is
Yeah,
pretty
highly
rich, pretty
sugar
rich.
and sugar and
Yeah.
lots of sugar. But sugar, obviously, a big part of that, even in the alcohol realm, right?
Yeah, snacks and treats, and the sharing baked goods, all those kinds of things. Yeah, they can interrupt the lifestyle behaviors for good quality nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we also have the interruption of fitness endeavors, and it's
Right.
winter, right? So it's not as easy to get out and get your steps in, right? It's not as easy
Yeah.
to just go for a run, hop on your bike. I'm missing the outdoor
Yeah.
biking right
That
now.
habit, that ritual that you typically have, because I know even for myself, which I'm pretty strict in when I'm here, like every day,
Mm-hmm.
and when I'm going to Vegas here in on I think the 5th or whatever.
Yeah.
It's tougher for sure because it's easier to make an excuse not to do it
Right, right.
because it's like different gyms. So I try to stay in a place that has a gym that's open.
Bam! That's one of
Yeah.
the first things.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
actually, the first thing is, wait, let's back up 1 minute. The first thing is make sure you're not missing your workouts and your lifestyle choices that are good quality, healthy
Mhm.
choices before you go on holidays.
Right.
Right. So
Yeah.
you want to gain some ground.
Yeah.
Right. No misses. Be prepared. Be organized. So
Be
that
like a snake, don't eat for a week.
sure. They don't eat for a week.
I'm kidding.
Snakes? Yeah.
No, they eat one big meal and it's good for a
Oh,
week.
okay.
Right?
I got you now. All right.
They
Yeah.
catch like a giraffe or something.
There you go. Yeah, so we want to pregame
Yeah.
really well,
Yeah.
right? We want to make sure we get all those,
Yeah.
lifestyles intact, because we want to transport our lifestyle
Mhm.
with us as much as possible, right?
Yeah, so one of the things that I find hard lots of times is I wanted the fitness thing, and they don't have share a lot of information lots of times the hotels and stuff like that, or even the Airbnbs. Is that, and you get there and it says they have a fitness place, and then it's either a really small or the hours are different than what
Mhm.
you're used to. Because I do 5 a.m. and we don't open until 8, and I'm just
Mhm.
like, well, that's like 8 is half my day already.
However, you need to be flexible,
Yeah.
right? You need to be adaptable so that you can, because if you're on holidays, you get to make up your schedule,
Yeah.
right? So you make it up so that you can fit those things in. But that would be the other thing that I would encourage people to do is ask more questions. Like make sure you're informed as to what's
I try to ask
available.
for pictures of the
Yeah.
of the fitness area, and then the other one is I try to get a kitchenette so that I can at least eat breakfast
Yes.
healthy, like getting that good start in the morning,
Mhm.
high protein breakfast,
Mhm.
as opposed to going out and eating a bunch of sugar
Yeah,
for breakfast.
A big
right?
one. Yeah. And a lot of people tend not to eat breakfast when they're on holidays, right? They kind of push it and they have brunch. That becomes a bigger meal. It's heavier. It makes you more lethargic. You're not moving as well, that sort of thing. So you hit really two great ones on the head right there.
And because lots of times you'll stay in a hotel, like say if it's a business class hotel, and they'll have that continental breakfast, which is a lot of sugar, right? Or really bad eggs, and then just a lot of like
Yeah.
waffles
Yeah.
and whatever, a bunch of like high sugar stuff, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
bacon that's like paper thin, like you're not sure what it is.
Well, a la carte is always better than buffet style
Yeah.
because we're just inclined, it's human nature to,
Eat more.
it's just the seafood diet. You
Yeah.
see it, you eat it, right? So whatever's on your plate, is you get to choose what that is. Whereas when you're in a buffet style,
Yeah.
your brain just lights up. Oh, there's that. Oh, there's that.
Yeah.
And you can
And
try
if you're a
to be
guy,
small.
you're trying to get value. Just like I paid like $250 a night for this.
Yeah.
I'm getting some of that back.
I never get anything out of the buffet. I always get ripped off. It's true, but yeah. So we can control those sort of things. But when we're looking for a holiday to start with, one of the things is to think about the holiday that you want to have. Do you want to have a sedentary holiday? And sometimes people do, and sometimes people need it. And so there's no knocking that. I mean, a week on a beach, with a good book and some surf and whatnot, sure. But anything more than that, or if that's your frequent go-to vacation and you're doing that, 4, 5, 6 weeks out of the year, maybe not such a great idea, right?
No. And one of the things I try to do for sure too is if you're gonna indulge in some of the sweets, just like light the furnace a little better, just go on a longer hike or do different things so that you're hungry, and then eat the proteins first and then eat the sugar last so that you don't eat as much of the sugar, right?
That's true. And also, when you eat your protein first, you are going to reduce the glycemic spike from the sugars.
Yeah.
So your insulin and pancreas don't have to work as hard, and your blood sugar levels don't jack right up there.
Yeah.
They may go up a little bit more than if you had not if you didn't have if you they would go up a little bit more, but they wouldn't go up as high as if you didn't have the protein first to help absorb and slow down the
Like
process.
even when I go to the keg, because I used to always like the bread, you just well, I'll just get
Yeah.
another one or another one. So you're just filling up on the sugary carbs
Mhm.
because that bread's full of sugar too.
Yeah.
And then by the time the steak comes, you're actually kind of full. You don't enjoy it as much. So it's
Mhm.
better to wait for the steak and have the bread if you want it after the steak.
It is, and sometimes people are really hungry, for dinner before they go to dinner.
Yeah.
And so sometimes if you have just a slight little snack, have a cup of cottage cheese before you go, it just takes the edge off. So you actually don't need to have the bread
Yeah.
because it's sitting there. Or make sure that you say you don't want the bread, so it's not in front of you. But that's that temptation. So we want to eliminate as many temptations as possible, right?
So the one that's the Christmas party is a big one too, because you go there and there's just treats and sweets
Mhm.
and all that kind of stuff
Mhm.
too. Is that where you want to kind of like eat the dinner first kind of thing, like the turkey, and get kind of fill up on that so that you're not eating 8 or 9
Yeah.
choice cookies
Well,
and
for
stuff like
sure. I
that,
mean,
right?
and you don't really ever really want to fill up. We want to
Yeah.
eat till we're no longer hungry, but
Yeah.
not till we're full, right? Because that's overeating when we're
Right.
full, right? We've eaten too much, right?
Yeah.
But again, if because sometimes those events go a little bit later, and so you have to wait later. So even eat before you go, right? And then just have a few snacks when you're
Right.
there. But if it's a full-on dinner, yeah, you definitely want to have your dinner before you're eating your.
And those people that are really just like you only have Christmas dinner every now and then, just line your pockets with Ziplocs.
Okay, now we're really getting down to strategies.
You take some of that home with you.
Exactly. So let's head back to fitness.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got we're planning our holiday a little bit more. So there's all kinds of great excursions that involve activity, right?
Yeah.
So whether there's hiking or biking, there's paddling. You can actually go on adventure vacations, which can be supported. So every imaginable fitness level could go on it. We've got the e-bikes now. So e-bikes can really take the edge off, and it allows couples who might not be the same fitness level to still go on the same trips. One can be pedaling, the other one can be on an e-bike and still pedaling and still getting exercise, but it takes the stress considerably off them and the pressure as well, and also the feeling of being excluded from some of these things. So they get to have the fun along the ride as well.
Swimming as well. Most places have
Swimming,
a pool.
yeah,
Right? So
yeah.
laps as opposed to just waiting.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and even things like because some people aren't great swimmers, but you can just have like a little floaty board and do
Flutter kicks.
Flutter kicks.
Yeah.
That's going to be an active thing to do as well. But if you can, and if you are somebody who does exercise regularly, a lot of places have small gyms, and you don't even really need a lot of equipment, as we've also done many pods on that. You can use your own body weight to do some exercise, and even exercise snacks. Rhonda Patrick, she's Found My Fitness podcast. She talks about fitness snacks throughout the day. It's great because you can be doing, waiting for something to happen, and you can be doing exercises around wherever you are. You can do stairs, climb stairs, do a few sets of those kinds of things. We just have to be thinking a lot more about how do we move more, right? Eat less, move more while we're on vacation.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing about like going into the ocean and stuff. Like a friend of mine just went to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
He stepped on a jellyfish.
Ooh.
Just wear some shoes when you're in like some water shoes,
Yeah.
right? Because that wrecked his whole holiday.
No kidding.
And
Yeah. Then he's out.
Yeah, it was painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was somebody around to help him out with that?
Yeah, but still very painful,
Yeah,
right? He said
just
it really wrecked the rest of his holiday,
yeah.
right? But if you just wear some water shoes, and
Hmm.
that'd help, right? I'm not saying that'd be 100% because but just
Yeah,
because you don't know what you're stepping on.
definitely. And yeah, I'm not a big ocean fan, anyways, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
just usually walk on
I
the beach
dip.
part of it,
Hmm.
like on
Yeah.
the
which
shoreline.
is another thing you can do.
Yeah,
So getting your steps in, okay, that's
yeah,
another thing. So
yeah,
minimum on holidays, there's no excuse for not getting 10,000 steps in. What
yeah,
else?
for
What
sure.
else do
Because
you have to do?
because otherwise you're just sitting. Like if you stay at one of those resorts that's an all inclusive, like it seems like the only thing they do is like time to eat, time to drink, time to
Hmm.
eat, time to drink,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Like when is lunch? When is breakfast?
yeah,
When is and it's just there's a lot of just eating and sitting by the pool and
absolutely. And some of those all inclusives, they have activity guides, and they're constantly pulling people in to
yeah.
do salsa dancing and playing volleyball and
Hmm.
doing
Yeah, there's things you can do
activities.
if you choose to. That's for
Yeah, you just
sure.
have to participate,
Yeah,
right? Participate
yeah,
in those things. Just get moving so that you're not sitting around the whole
yeah.
entire day.
I mean, I try to stick to my workout routine for sure.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, when you're going to a gym that doesn't have all the equipment you're used to, you just got to kind of make do, and you can do a lot of body weight
Yeah,
exercises.
adapting. And so here's the thing. Let's say, you are somebody who regularly exercises and you're using weights, like yourself, and you come to a resort or hotel and they don't have near what you are accustomed to doing. It doesn't mean that you can't just continue to do the same exercises that you're doing with lighter weights
Yeah,
potentially,
yeah,
and or no weights and
yeah,
bands, that kind of thing, because you're in maintenance phase. You don't
yeah,
necessarily have to get fitter
yeah.
on your
Just hang
vacation.
on to it.
Yeah, what you're
Yeah,
trying to do is not gain extra pounds, and you're trying to sustain where you're at so you don't have this regression. I've had many clients who I've worked with over the years, and it's been interesting. I had one couple who uh, they would go away for 2 weeks, a couple times a year or once a year, and it would be an all-out bender because they're excited, got to
yeah.
break all the rules and so on and so forth. And it was such a
Get their money's worth.
regression back, with the lack of exercise and the weight gain, and then over time uh, their holidays started to get longer.
Hmm.
So they were
Yeah.
comfortably, growing their careers, and they were able to get extended holidays. So they were upwards of 6 weeks holidays,
Hmm.
right? And so they would go for now 3 and potentially 4 weeks. Well,
Yeah.
you can't do that all out benders for 4, 5, and
You can
six
get really
weeks.
derailed.
Totally, this is
No.
where the derailment comes,
Yeah.
right? So this is why we're trying
And plus,
to.
then it leads to not wanting to even get back into your fitness routine
Yeah,
when you get
because
back.
the less you do, the less you want to do,
Yeah, because then
right?
it's also more lethargic. The more sugar you do, and the more
Hmm.
everything you do, the
Yeah.
motivation just drops right off
It
too, right?
does. It really does. So we're trying to teach people about lifestyle behaviors and get them to the point where they literally port their lifestyle. I mean, they have the odd thing,
Yeah,
but their mindset is around, well, I wouldn't I wouldn't do that at home.
yeah.
So why am I
How,
going to go
how,
overboard here?
what advice would you give somebody? Because like lots of times when you're in a group setting, and say you don't drink, and there's so much pressure. It's like, why don't you drink? Why you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like it seems like they need to tribe you so that you can
yeah.
be part of the tribe. Because if you so how I deal with it,
Hmm.
I don't know if this is the way. I get a soda water and put a lime in it, and they
Hmm.
have no idea whether that's gin and
Yeah.
soda or just soda
Yeah.
because it's sparkling and
It's sparkling. Yeah.
it's got a thing in
It's a
it,
great hack.
and
Hmm.
there you go. And then
Yeah.
nobody knows the difference, and the pressure comes off.
Yeah, and I think too, there's more people not drinking. Not that you don't have to drink nothing, but even alternating your drinks with a
Yeah,
soda in between, or cutting your white wine with soda and making it a spritzer. Um, but there's more people who are more conscientious about what they're doing with their
yeah,
lifestyle, and they're not drinking as much. And so when somebody actually has the courage to say, well, it's
yeah.
just not interested, then that gives everybody permission to back off.
And I would say on like I sometimes put a little lime water in there too because
Hmm.
that helps. Um, some people are doing the mocktails, but I
Hmm.
mean that's just basically like a Coca Cola, right? You might as well have a Coke.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
so right about that. And even the non-alcoholic beers,
yeah,
which is great that there's no alcohol in it, and I'm a
yeah,
huge fan of that. So when you go out and you have a beer, have a round of beers, it's great to have a non-alcoholic beer, and there's such great ones out there. But to continue having many non-alcoholic beers is not having alcohol, but you're still having the sugar
Yeah.
that
And the
goes with that.
carbs
The
that
carb.
go with it
Well,
too, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
sugars, carbs are the
Yeah.
same deal,
Oh,
right? So,
there you go.
yeah. So that's
Good thing
those
I don't
again
even
are
like the taste of beer. I'm probably unusual though.
you don't like the taste of beer?
I don't like
Yeah,
the
I'm
taste
not
of
a
any
huge fan of
alcohol
beer.
really,
Yeah,
except for brown cows like Kahlua, because it's like chocolate sauce, right?
it's for chocolate milk. There you go.
But yeah,
You'll be in trouble with that one.
yeah, because you don't want to puke with that one because it'll just stick in your nose, right? Sorry for painting that picture.
No, it's true. It's true. Yeah. So those are great ways to either alternate soda water with your beverages and
No,
or yeah, just say no. I mean, again, it's permission, and that's the other thing about permission and holding your boundaries around the activity that you need to get in, because there is pressure. There's not only pressure from the people that you might be hanging out with for your holiday, but also from your own partner
yeah.
pressure, where there's you want to make sure that you get your workouts in, and they're kind of like, oh, you're on holidays. It's like, well,
No, that's the
but
other one
my
for sure
body's
too,
not
right?
on holidays.
Yeah, yeah,
My wellness is not on holidays, right? And so that's the idea, is that our wellness is a journey. There's no
yeah.
destination. We're not going to be well, and that's good enough. We're always moving towards wellness, right?
People just have a habit of wanting to bring you into their tribe.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like whether like say, well, I got to go work out, and it's like, why do you got to work out? This is the holiday. Come on, relax. What's the matter with you?
When I have holidays, that's the time when I can really dig into being even more active.
Yeah.
I look forward
for
to
me
it.
too. I mean, definitely it's. But I know that if I did 6 weeks without it, it'd be really tough to get back into it for sure, right? Because all of a sudden because laziness is something that's kind of ingrained in most humanity, right? Like we kind of want to be lazy, right? Like it's just there. So I push myself extra hard so that I don't get there.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what are some other ways that we can add activity into our holiday week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week lifestyle transference into the snowbird 3 months even? Things like taking the stairs, bypass the elevator, and someone said, well, I'm on the 16th floor. I'm like, so go halfway.
Yeah.
Then hop on the elevator. Like if it's too much, start with something. Always just start, right? Just start with something. Yeah.
Even an early morning walk for sure. Like last time we were in Hawaii, definitely I went for walks before my wife got up, and that I just go out and walk, and it's kind of like nice, like.
That's getting your steps in, right?
Just going for a walk and then going to the fitness gym and stuff like that, and just.
And you can walk two places as well. So if you're 2 kilometers away from the restaurant that you're going to go have dinner, walk there.
What I don't understand about a lot of hotels and that is they don't have anybody in the fitness facility, yet they still have hours.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't make any sense, right?
I think more and more of them are not, but I think part of that too is liability.
Yeah.
Right. So the fitness centers that are 24/7, it's something happens.
Like even here,
when it's
like
not
it's still
supervised.
5 to whatever, and just like there's nobody there ever, right? So what's the difference?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And on holidays they change it. I'm just like, why?
Yeah, it's true. But I do think that more hotels are getting a little bit more flexible with that.
I think more people are asking for it.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think,
and that's it too. The more people who inquire about what people have for fitness, the more the hotels are going to realize that it's an amenity that's really worth having. We went to Seattle a couple months ago. That's the first thing I looked up when I went to look for hotels. It's like ones with fitness centers, right? So you can do a little bit more legwork and be able to set yourself up for success. Because most times we're really not paying any attention to that, and then we get there and we're scrambling. Oh, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go?
You can also buy a membership in one of those where they have gyms like Anytime Fitness, where they have gyms everywhere, and then you can kind of just go in anywhere.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. If you travel a lot, that particular franchise is great for that. And their gyms aren't all great in every venue, but overall, they've got what you need.
Stuff,
you don't have to have any
stuff.
fancy equipment.
You could live in your car. You could live in a Tesla and drive all across, the U.S. and work
shower in Anytime Fitness.
There you go. There you go.
I don't know about
There's
that.
a hack for you.
There's a hack, indeed. Yeah. So travel for holidays, yes, and then even when you go for holidays and it's family oriented. So your kids are in tow. You're at the relatives. Play.
Yeah.
Like play more, get out, get skates out, get toboggans out. Just try to think of things where you come together and be
Yeah.
running around and having fun.
There's a 35-pound weight. You can just put them on your shoulders and walk around.
It's true,
Yeah.
yeah. So remember that commercial? I don't know if it still plays because I don't have cable, but where a fairly older gentleman was lifting weights in his workshop or something like that, and he was kind of getting frowned upon. You're going to be picking these weights up and putting them down, picking them up,
Pick it
putting
up,
them
put it
down,
down, pick it
kind
up,
of
put
thing.
it down.
And it went on and showed him in all these different places. And the end of it, everybody comes for Christmas, and they're decorating the tree, and the littlest little gets the star, and he picks her up and lifts her up so she can put the star
There you
on the
go.
tree. And that's what he was training for. And that's really
Yeah.
a lot of times, in our stage of life, what we're training
Yeah,
for is to
we've talked
participate.
about that whole time, right?
Mhm.
Keeping your mobility so that you can enjoy your health span as opposed to just getting a longer
That's right.
life, right?
That's
So
right. Yeah, and there's little people around that you're, connected to, that you're on the floor with. I just came back from seeing my littles in the States, and it's exhausting.
mhm.
I feel like I'm in pretty good shape. I can climb a mountain, on my mountain bike. Man, being up and down off the floor with those two little
Yeah,
things, you had me run ragged, no question.
yeah, yeah. My little one, she wants to race all the time, right?
There you go.
Because she's what's his Chase Power Up. She has Chase superpowers. I think it's a Paw Patrol or
Paw
something.
Patrol. I know Paw Patrol. That's funny. Yeah. So again, look at what it is that is around you and surrounding you, and then create. Playtime is great. I mean, it's
Yeah,
good for our soul as well as for our bodies, and the kids love it when you are off your phones, off screens.
yeah,
You're dialed right in, and you're engaged and connected with them. That's what they're going to remember. They're not going to remember the package that came with. They will for the first
yeah,
hour, but then your participation with them as
yeah.
much as possible in active ways is going to be where the fun's at for everybody.
Yeah, no, it's the mobility for sure. Having like it's you don't want them to go get your walker,
Hmm.
so the more that you can do to stay able-bodied,
Yeah, we're pushing that off as far as possible.
yeah,
Right.
I think it's great.
Yeah. So the idea then is to try to have even a formulated plan while you're down there, but even ahead of time, putting together. I mean, we do this for our clients who travel. We give them a travel program. Some of them will tune into virtual coaching as
Mm.
well, and others will get on an app and just follow exercises. And many of them don't have access to a full gym, but body weight exercises and
Yeah.
using
Well,
benches
you can
and
do push
stepping
ups,
up.
sit ups, all kinds of stuff, right?
All of
Like there's a
those
lot of stuff
things.
you can just do right beside the bed.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily as creative as it might be in the gym,
Yeah.
but it's only for a short period of time,
Yeah.
right? And then you're because you're not using fairly heavy weights. I mean, potentially you might be, depending on what your facility provides. But we can, if we don't have weights per se, we're using body weight and using things like steps and doing push-ups and sit-ups and those kinds of things. We can do a workout every day because we don't need as much recovery time, right?
Mhm.
So 24 hours is enough recovery time when we're doing very high repetitions to get our fatigue. Whereas when we're in the gym and we're loading very heavy, we need a couple of days to recover those muscles before we work them again so that we get good growth in those muscles, right?
Lots
Good
of time to
strength.
rest when they put you in the box.
That's right. Yeah. And we want to avoid being in the box for as long as possible. As long
That's
as
right.
possible.
So travel is one thing, and then there's also just the holiday season, I guess, because lots of people they're off for 10 days during
Mhm.
Christmas too,
Yeah.
right? And it tends to be they kind of forget about their daily routines, even if it's available to them, they kind of just forego it,
Yeah.
right?
So we're up against this right now with our clients, and we try to be as flexible as possible in terms of fitting in their
Mm-hmm.
schedules, their scheduled workouts in and
Yeah,
around the holiday times. We're not closed throughout that holiday, other than the stats. And we have coaches who want to work, and then we have others who don't. So,
yeah,
so we'll help each other figure out, who's going to see who.
yeah,
But people are off. Like our clients are off work potentially for a
yeah,
few days, and if they're home, why wouldn't you work out?
yeah,
They
yeah.
look at us and like, well, I don't think you're going to be open. I'm like, well, why wouldn't we be
Is
open?
part of that the mental side of it though too? Then, like, because
The
the
break, it's
physical
the
part,
break.
the toughest step is the first one to go to the gym,
Hmm.
and then it's the mental side of it to actually
Hmm.
want to make that first
Yeah,
step, right?
and I think too, especially people who are coming in early mornings, they have guests and they're staying up later
Right.
and those sort of things. But then I was talking to another person on the weekend here, and they said like I really like getting to bed early, and so I can get up
Yeah.
and get my workout in and have the rest of my day,
Yeah.
to do whatever I want to do with. So it's a mindset,
Yeah.
right? How are you going to think about it? If you think about it in the way of like, oh no, I'll just park it and leave it for a week or two, then you will. But if you can, be thoughtful around what can I do to
Yeah.
at least get something in, and it may not look exactly the same, then when you think about it, you actually can make a plan for it. Failing to plan is planning to fail.
Yeah, a really good hack if you have people over and they don't want to leave. You just get up and go to bed. Just don't say anything. Just get up and leave.
Where did he go? Was he not just here?
And then leave your wife to fend for it. Just like, where
That's
is
not
he?
fine. That's not fair. But yes, it is definitely
I've
an
done it.
option. You've done it. And then,
Terrible, right?
and then yeah, what happens to Nikki? She has got to like.
Well, she just says he has a routine.
Okay, so that's actually not a bad thing to be talking about, because that's where your boundaries come in, right? So
Yeah.
being able to you know set your expectations, so that your guests also know that this is what it is,
Yeah.
so that
You let
you
them
are
know
able
up
to
front, yeah.
totally, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have an earlier dinner, and close it down earlier, right? People are driving, and some people still have to get up and work. Not everybody has the entire week off, so
Yeah.
those things are a possibility as well. So we need to speak up for ourselves and not throw our wives under the bus, but
Whatever works.
I think there was a me too thing going on there, all about you, not. But yeah, um, so knowing what it is that you want and how you want to keep that routine going, and voicing,
yeah, just
what's
letting people. I
important
mean,
to
I
you.
let a lot of people know that I get up around 3. So
Yeah, that's just way too
obviously,
early.
yeah, obviously that means I go to bed earlier.
Yes, of course. Yeah. What happens at 3?
I don't know.
Is that just your clock?
There is really good things that happen for me at 3.
Okay.
Because like around 7, there's a lot of people starting to come in, and everybody wants something, right? So I do like 2 hours of learning, investing in
Oh,
myself
okay. Yeah, yeah.
every day,
Yeah.
and there's so much to learn, right? With
Yeah.
with AI and all
Talked
that
about
stuff,
that. Hmm.
and then there's also the body part of it, right?
Yeah,
Which is
your
an hour and a
workouts
half.
go in. Hmm.
So you know what I mean. So that first part of the day is investment in myself,
Yeah.
and that's I. Nobody else is really up at that time, so nobody can take that time from me. I
Hmm.
used to work for a Toronto-based company, and we would do um, Monday morning calls,
Hmm.
and for here it's 9. It's
That's
I
right.
mean it's 9 over there, but it's 6 a.m.
Yeah.
here, and it was right in the middle of my workouts,
Hmm.
right? So I'd have to sit painfully through these 1 hour long calls, right? In the gym, I would sit there
Hmm.
in the it was the Y in Rutland because they had a little lounge area
Yeah.
in the members area,
Hmm.
and you just sit there painfully. They say, "This call gonna go on for like ever?" Right?
Did you have to be on camera?
No, that was before all that stuff was, right?
Oh,
So
okay.
this was a while ago. So just on your
Yeah.
cell phone.
Yeah.
Lots of times, even on the Zoom calls now, I just turn my camera off, right?
Yeah.
Because you know what I
I
mean. Because
plug
then
in and ride or
yeah, because
whatever.
then you can do different things, right?
Hmm.
As opposed to being a slave to the
Hmm.
what you're doing. As long as you're listening, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You
That's
can
true.
you can still do some exercises too.
Yeah.
You can bob up and down, or you can do
Definitely.
whatever, right? Like I'll I try not to even look at my phone for the first couple hours
Hmm.
of the morning so that I'm not distracted by my phone,
Yeah.
right? So
Oh, that's good. Those are all great ideas.
yeah,
Definitely.
learning is I think is like a big part, especially in this new world that we're
Yeah.
having, right? So
Yeah. I mean, what we're doing right now is we're teaching. We're teaching
yeah,
things for people to learn more ways to be, flexible,
yeah,
literally
yeah,
flexible with their
flexible, yeah,
schedules, flexible with the way they think around movement. And I think, at the very least, being able to think about what kind of a holiday am I is in
yeah,
front of me. Can I make it more active? Um, Maybe I'll try something new that I haven't
yeah,
tried before for a holiday. So where there's walking excursions or there's bikes involved, or, whatever it
So,
might be.
so one of the things that I've been trying to help people with is like, what's your mission? Like, you know what I mean? Like
Your
everybody,
personal mission.
yeah, what's your mission? And I think we talked about this before too. What's your mission? And then you can always ask questions of the mission, right? If my mission is to uh, bring my body to like an optimum shape so I can have a better health span, then you can answer questions. You can ask questions too, right? Would drinking, like 4 drinks a day help me with my mission? Probably not, right? So, and would like not doing exercises for 6 weeks and just enjoy like eating till you know gorged yourself, would that help your mission? Probably not, right?
No,
So
not at all.
then you can answer those questions easier.
Yeah, those are values. What you value most, and clearly your health is on the top of the list, and that's
Well,
a good thing.
I think it matters to your family though too, right? Because
Absolutely.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because it
You're
matters if
valued
you're
to them.
not like you went down and you're helping your kids, and
Yeah,
if you can't move around, you become a burden as opposed to a help, right?
That's right. That's right.
And,
Yeah, and you want to be capable of doing what you want to do as well, the fun things. I mean, that's one of my mantras.
yeah.
We,
And you're still running a business, right? So you gotta,
Yeah, I exercise so I can do the fun things better.
Yeah, and it'd be tough to be, somebody giving out exercise advice if you didn't look the part. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, but again, looks are not everything that you need to be able to teach people how to do good fitness. There's lots of people who are fit and they don't have to be, a stick figure.
Well, I wouldn't take financial advice from somebody that's broke.
Well, maybe not, but that's you. That's you. There's lots of people need to see also success in others who are not model material as far as their body image goes, and
For sure.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we keep that open a little bit.
But I'll tell you this right here.
Yeah, this is what Jim is giving me for my Christmas gift. Speaking of temptations,
these are things that you're going to run across a lot. Though.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like everywhere,
Yeah.
And those are tough things, but I think you have to, not deprive yourself of everything too, right?
Yeah, and that's a good thing to kind of end with, because we don't want to have the all or nothing lifestyle, right? Because you still want to, when you go on holidays, you still want to have some fun. You still want to have cocktails, and you still want to do lazy
My granddaughter
things.
loves ice cream, so I'm going to enjoy ice cream.
For sure. But it's not something you're going to do every single day. And when you're with the Christmas, goodies everywhere, and people bringing you goodies as a gift, share them.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, right?
Yeah, share them, and also try not to have them on their own. So make them, after a meal or
put a couple pieces of steak in between them.
I don't know that would taste very good. I'm not going to do that one. Definitely not.
Oh, you can eat the steak first, and then you can eat that.
Oh, I thought you said put them in.
Oh, yeah, so
in a
you can
steak
put
sandwich.
it inside.
It's like, steak sandwich is not going to happen with what are these guys called?
Ferrero
Ferrero collection.
Yeah, very fancy Ferrero Rocher.
One of my sons, and I don't remember, I always forget which one really likes them and the other one doesn't. And many stocking years, I have put the wrong one in each.
Oh yeah, they've gone from, like we were talking about chocolate, but they've gone from, I think they used to have just kind of like 2 different flavors. Now they've got like all these different flavors.
There's a half a dozen
stuff like that. So so they can really indulge, right?
It's a big deal.
So you try one of each, or
deal.
2 of each, or 3 of each, or 4 of each. I don't know.
There's a lot there. They also had to have little 2-packs, That would have been sufficient. Yeah. And that's another thing, is that you can, you don't have to be so grandiose, and also, be thinking about what might be a temptation for somebody. So if you know somebody who is, in the process, or is very particular about their lifestyle, then do something along those lines for them as well, so that they're not, you're not helping them derail.
Yeah, we're going to do some unique stuff here in the new year too, and hopefully you're part of some of this. Is that we're going to do some longevity stuff here, and then we used to have a lot of functions here in the office, and it would be beer and wine and snacks and hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that. We're going to try to do it more healthy.
Nice.
And we're going to try and see if that helps. You know what I mean? Like more like fruit trays and healthier foods, right? So
I love it. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, why not? I mean, see what people think, right? Not smoothies in there, because I don't know if that's much better than.
It can be. It just depends on what's in it.
I guess what you put in it, right? A lot of the ones that you buy at the at the smoothie counter aren't so good
Right.
though, right? I mean, they're just a lot of cheap sugars and stuff like that, right?
Again, they can be. It just depends on,
Yeah.
who you're going to, I suppose. Yeah. But that's something, worth looking into to see what is in your food. Read your labels.
I stayed at a all-inclusive resort in Mexico. So what you did is you went to the fruit counter or
Mhm.
whatever, and then you picked out all your fruit, went to the thing, and they just stirred it up for you.
Oh,
And
cool.
they made a smoothie out of whatever you picked.
Right on.
That was kind of cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, better than like the one where they just pour the liquid, 2 or 3 liquids
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. It's
To
nice
make
having the fresh fruit.
sugar
Definitely.
concoction, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anything else? You sticking around here?
I am for Christmas. You mean?
Yeah.
I'm off for a week. Going Calgary way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go and find some snow.
Medicine Hat, Calgary. Hopefully not.
I heard they were supposed to have a big storm.
Well, I'm not into that.
Looks beautiful out there today. So
Yeah,
we have
it's
that live
lovely.
shot you can see there.
Mhm.
We got a little bit of snow last night, but I
Mhm.
think it's like +6 right now. Or
Yeah,
something
it's
like
pretty
that.
nice. The sun's been really bright when I came over here.
We just
sure.
got to get through December and January, really, and then on the other side
Well,
of that, right?
I look forward to the 21st of December because
go.
then the days start getting longer and yeah, bike season is around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
You're pretty active here in the community, so.
yeah, I look forward to March when I mean, there's some marches where we're out the beginning of March riding. We can't go very high, but yeah, still get back on the bike as soon as we can. But the days are so long, and my day starts early. It's dark early. It's dark late.
Yeah.
Or earlier in the night as well. So yeah, having those longer days is.
Another cool thing about 3 in the morning,
Mhm.
no traffic.
You actually travel to work at 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
Wow,
Well, I'm going to disrupt everybody at the house.
that's impressive.
Do you know what I mean? Because if I'll turn the TV on,
Yeah.
because I learn from YouTube a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
So then what am I going to do? Just irritate everybody.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay,
Awesome.
all right.
That was great. So lots of tips on how to kind of not derail yourself and have a better, longer health span.
Yeah, let's think of some alternative holiday plans.
Yeah.
More active, less
More active
sedentary.
stuff, and just check again. I think one of the tips is to check where you're going and
Check
make
where
your
you're going.
choices based on fitness. And for me, the couple of the ones that are strong for me are a good fitness gym,
Mhm.
or adequate at least,
Yeah.
and then a kitchen so that I can cook eggs.
Yeah,
Right. So
having
for
a
me,
little bit of
that
efficiency.
that breakfast is like a way to, like, if I have like 3 or 4 eggs in the morning and a piece of toast and sourdough or something like that, then it kind of gets you that protein in the morning, and then you can have and to me, if I'm going to have an indulgent meal, I'll have it at lunch, so that
Mhm.
doesn't sit heavy on you,
Yeah,
and
'cause
then
you're
have
still moving through your day.
a light dinner, right? So
Yeah. Even small little fridges and hotel rooms you can
yeah,
put
they're
in.
nice, right?
Well, you can add some things in there. You've cottage cheese and Greek yogurt to have a little bit of a,
Yeah, I
a
usually go
blended
to
mix.
a grocery store and find some
Yeah.
fruit and stuff like that too. That doesn't
Yeah, some
spoil too
protein
much,
bars.
right?
Put
Yeah,
those in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
yeah, bananas.
great ideas.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. Merry
And
Christmas.
we thank you, and Merry Christmas to everybody as well. And we thank you for watching Kelowna Now. And if you want some training, Liz Sage is there on Tut Street, Team Fitness, and they have a lot of great trainers there.
Mhm.
And they have a box of chocolates, so if you go in there in the
We'll
next little
share.
while,
We're going to share it.
they'll be on the counter.
We'll put them on the front desk.
There you go. And we thank you for watching Kelowna Now.